I want to share with you how the hero's journey has a special focus for us here on the M2M project. I also want to invite you to introduce yourself so you can share what the hero's journey is to you. When I talk about the hero's journey, it's not just as a literary structure and storytelling. I mean, various story structures do come up in much of what we explore here, but where the hero's journey is concerned, what I'm saying is that it speaks to a personal quest for everyone. Stories often serve as parables, helping us develop ourselves and live out our own personal movie. They help us face our weaknesses and demons, pushing us to rise from failures and become the heroes we aspire to be for ourselves, our friends, and our families. It's true that the medium of film is a big part of this for me because it's a big part of how I share the struggle of the hero's journey I'm personally on. That's not to say the hero label fits me. Far from it. It's a journey, and heroes are made, not born. I'm just saying that, like anyone, I'm after something better than I am today. I guess we'll have to wait until the end of our movie to find out how we all land. The process is not just about a story on a big screen, as much as it can be a place to share an imagined version of it. Many of us feel compelled to expand into our potential and purpose. We look for what informs, inspires, and triggers our imagination in that direction. To that end, films may only have value for some when they relate to how we rise in real life, or times when we're encouraged to see what it means to fall apart and rebuild. The world seems to be forcing a lot of changes on all of us these days, so we all have to face a little darkness and seek the light out there. That's what we'll be expanding into on the M2M project. The hero's journey as it pertains to filmmaking, but also as it pertains to the human quest to find the hero in ourselves. That's the message to media I'm hoping for. In that spirit, how about you introduce yourself in the comments? Share the hero's journey you're on, from those on a quest in the film business to those on a personal journey to find the heroic version of yourself in this life. Do you feel the strangeness of things out there? Maybe life doesn't feel real right now. Maybe that's because it's time for you to start your own hero's journey. Let's talk about that because that's what today's episode is about. When I was a kid, I saw these images of heroes like Superman and his quest to use his power for the right reasons. I saw the Incredible Hulk in his effort to overcome the beast element of himself and use that rage to save others. Then there were the Schwarzenegger movies and Stallone characters, all heroes out to save the day with their physical capacity and cunning in hard situations. That is what I was chasing when I got old enough to lift weights and build my own frame. I mixed in my inherited values and hoped to combine it all into something significant. I wanted to develop a heroic story for the big screen, like the ones that inspired me. I also had a hunger to reflect my heroes in life as much as one could. It's what got me into film and TV, chasing both acting and writing. Things are different now, though. In some ways, I've changed. That's true. You get more realistic about life over time. But the bigger change was in the industry. The values that inspired me weren't the ones I grew up with anymore. Something about that shift dampened my quest, and I no longer felt the wind at my back as I had before, pushing me to build that heroic physique or get excited about just any film role that came my way. Gradually, I saw that the film industry wasn't going to hand me the vision I had when I was a kid. Even if the changes hadn't happened, I learned that the game was rigged. Now the studios have new values to promote, full of DEI quotas and often fully rejecting what I was even inspired by. On top of that, the few roles that might still lead with those ideals were reserved for very limited numbers of actors who would be pressured to play the Hollywood game, a game that pays you to give up your message and sell whatever message they want you to sell. That was a disorienting and discouraging realization at first. However, it is slowly becoming an opportunity. And why? Because audiences have gotten increasingly turned off by the ESG and DEI scoring messaging that Hollywood has been pushing. More and more industry people have started moving out and stepping up to develop something outside the political agenda bubble. For many, the culture has shifted radically. Life doesn't feel real. It became more corporately woke and inhuman. This obvious change stirred a need for authenticity and things rooted in truth. Surprisingly, many are now answering that call. It's been getting clearer now that the way to find, build, and put forward the stories and heroes we are passionate about is to stop being afraid to create them ourselves. Go after the process, discover what you can make, share, and be okay with failing at least until you put forward something that resonates with the world. Your hero's journey, on screen or in life, can't be handed to you by some industry person flinging you a script. Forget the one in a billion shot of getting into someone else's story that perfectly reflects the ideas and values that got you excited to live this life in the first place. No, only you can make the difference. Make it happen. Now is the time for you to craft the hero into motion and tell that story. Those values and stories are in you to express. Pull that good in you out for others to see. Make something that makes the world better. It's not easy. It may have obstacles, but it will be your hero's journey and not someone else's. It'll be your story, your message. Isn't that why we're here? To discover the good that our lives struggle to find? Just put it out there. Make it the light that sparks more greatness in the world. It's something to think about. For now, share your hero's journey in the comments. Let's see what this community is chasing and what can be shared in the future. By sharing, you inspire more of what we want to see in stories and in the world. Fight the darkness. Put truth in story. See you next time.